Hello everybody and welcome back to Modded Minecraft with Red. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend and the rest of your week has been going well. In between episodes, I did work a little bit, as I said I was going to, on our cobble gen system back here. As you can see, we are making a lot of cobblestone. It is getting quickly upgraded to our compressed cobblestone, double compressed, all the way up until we have quintuple, which we're up to 8 quintuple now. I will go ahead and grab all 8 of these, and this is all I've been doing is I've been letting this run, and then I've been coming over here and I've been grabbing more world interaction upgrades and then just heading back downstairs to put them in. I did let this idle for about an hour or so, and as you can see, we now have 4 of these running. This one's running a little bit slow because it only has 3 upgrades, but we will go ahead and get these spread out over 4. There we go, and we will just take these up to as high as we can get them with just these stacks here. There we go. And back upstairs we go. So that is going very smoothly and well. I also worked on something off camera a bit. I am preparing to make a major battle with none other than the Wither. And come back here, I'm tired of you. Thank you. So, in order to prep for the Wither, I went ahead and did some of the legwork that needed to be done before we got started, and as you can see, here we go. I had to make 24 of these flux crystals, which is 48 of our diamonds mixed with 2 millibuckets or 2 pieces of redstone in the fluid transposer, which I had set up here. Just melted down the redstone in the crucible and fluid transposed it onto the diamond to make the flux crystals. And then for the fluxed electrum, that's very simple to make. It is just electrum with 4 bits of redstone and some pyrotheum in the alloy smeltery. You could do it in the induction smelter if we had one. Then you would have to have the blend, which is just ground up electrum and redstone. But since we have the alloy smeltery, I figured why not just, do it the easy way. So yeah, I made up plenty of that, and now we can get 24 of these fluxed armor plating. So we will go ahead and grab those, and with that, we can make new armor. The flux infused helmet, the flux infused chest plate, pants, and of course boots. Now the nice thing about these is that these do have a durability of 1 million. However, they also hold power. So what will happen is as we charge these up, any damage that we take will get reduced from the charge that we have before it starts reducing the durability on the armor. How awesome is that? Plus these are very, very easily enchanted. So how are we going to enchant this stuff? Well, that's a great question. But first, we're actually going to get one more thing. We are going to make ourselves the flux infused bow as well, which just requires an obsidian rod, which I did make off camera. That's just obsidian dust and some blaze powder, no big deal. And then some string and 2 more flux electrum ingots. There we go. We now have our flux infused bow. So we will check. Our helmet is good, chest plate is good, legs are good, and boots are good. Let's throw the bow in there. And as you can see, it uses 20 RF per use, but we can empower it, which basically means that we make the bow even stronger. And when we do that, it uses, I believe it's 800 RF per tick. We'll go ahead and take a look here. To empower it, we just hit V. We get a nice little thunder effect, and the bow turns red. And now if we look, okay, we use 80 RF per tick, but it does approximately double the amount of damage. So that's absolutely awesome. To do the enchanting, we are going to want some sort of enchanter, which is all well and good. We have a multitude of enchantment options to us, all the way down to vanilla enchanting, but that's random. We want specific enchants on our items. So in order to get that, we are going to go with the Ender IO enchanter. Now the Ender IO is just going to be some dark steel, a couple of diamonds, and a book. I'm not sure if I have the dark steel, which I do not. That's fine. We can work on that together. That's just going to be some iron, a little bit of coal dust, and a piece of an obsidian to make one. We're going to need 4 of them, so let's go ahead and grab our iron. 4 of those. Let's grab our coal dust. 4 of those. And do we have any obsidian in here? We do not. That's fine. We can come out here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is going to take a moment. Well, not as long, because I did kind of cheat and put the Torturino here just to speed up the smelting of our redstone and making of those crystals. So there we go. There's our 4 dark steel. And we place those down. And we get nothing. Helps if we do the recipe correctly. There we go. Enchanter get. So now we will come over here, and I made some pressurized fluid conduit, which pressurized fluid conduit is made just like the regular conduit, only instead of glass, we used fused quartz, which you've seen me make multiple times. That makes the pressurized fluid conduit. It just makes fluid move a lot quicker. And we're just going to pop this down right on top of that like that, because it will require experience in order to us to enchant stuff. Now, we're also going to need some book and quill, which is no problem. We'll make that in a moment. But if we look at the recipes, we can see exactly what we can get. We can get protection 1 for 16 dark steel. Well, hey, that sounds like a great idea. We can get fire protection for 16 blaze powder. We can get feather falling for a feather. Blast protection for some gunpowder. Respiration on our helmet. We could get projectile protection on our armor. Thorns, if we wanted thorns, we could get that. Aqua affinity, so we can dig faster underwater. Sharpness on our weapons, or smite. Knockback, bane of arthropods. Fire aspect, so we can light stuff up. Looting. All sorts of good, fun stuff that we can get on our weapons and or our armor. But I'm thinking probably the best one that we're going to want to go with is probably unbreaking, definitely on our armor. That's going to mean that it's going to take even less RF away from us per hit that we get. And we're also going to put definitely infinity on our bow, which means that we don't have to carry around arrows with us for our bow, which how nice will that be? That'll be awesome, I'll tell you what. And you know, if we get we're definitely going to do protection as well and go all the way up as high as we can with protection, so we're going to have to get some more dark steel cooking up, which is not a problem. At some point I probably will get one of these ender crystals, which is a soul vial of an enderman, and you mix that with a vibrant crystal to get the ender crystal, and that way all of our stuff will be soul bound, and we will not have to worry about ever losing our equipment or having to find it again should we die, because it will come along with us. But for now, I am going to come back in here, misspell coal, why not? Let's grab a little bit more coal and get that ground up. We're also going to need some more iron. There we go. Oh, we had some in there. Whoops. Oh well. Let's see how 32 does us. Actually, I think we're going to need a full stack or close to. So let's grab another half stack here. We will throw that in there. And there's the other half stack of that. And there's the other half stack there. Alright, so let's go ahead and let that cook up. We'll grab the stuff out of here and put it in there. So while that stuff cooks up, let's go ahead and make us several books and quills. So there we go, it's just a feather, some sort of black dye, and a book. And we have all but the black dye and a book. So let's go ahead and make it the cheap way here. If we can, yes we can. And we're actually going to need several of these. So there's 2. Just make a bunch of books. There we go. And some sort of black dye. Well, let's see if I remember to teach this thing how to make black dye. And ink. I did not. So let's come out here and do we have any black in here? We do. Which that should be taught to the system. Yes, it is. So we will go ahead and pull out as many of these. Now the one thing about doing this is you can only pull out one at a time. The other way is to shift click, but sometimes it will cause your server or whatever to crash if you try and do too many. So there we go, we got 2 stacks. We can break that down into ink. There we go. So just keep that in mind if you are using the equivalent exchange system, that especially if it goes down into your hotbar, like if I would have kept this empty and would have filled my inventory, sometimes that can cause a crash when you do that. So I just try to avoid it at all costs. So let's throw our ink in there and our books, and let's see what we can do. So there's going to be our protection, there's going to be our unbreaking, there's going to be infinity. We're also going to want power for our bow. So there's those 2 for infinity and power, protection and unbreaking. And I think that should be good for now. So it looks like, yeah, our dark steel is ready. I also remember we're going to need an ender pearl for the infinity. And I know for power, we are going to need flint. So let's come out here and we will grab a stack of flint. Unbreaking, we're going to need a stack of obsidian, and there is our dark steel. So let's go see if we have enough to get all of these enchants. So we will come in here, we'll grab our book and quill, and let's put our flint in there. We need 25, and that's interesting. It is not feeding. So, well, that's It's kind of a bummer. I thought it fed, but that's okay. We can easily fix that just by turning this into insert mode. There we go. And we will pick up these fluid conduits, hopefully. There we go. And we'll just do one of these numbers then, since it's not going to work. There we go. So now we just pull out all of our experience, and there is our power 5. Now we can grab our other button quill. There's our infinity one, so our bow is taken care of. There's our button quill. Let's get our obsidian. Unbreaking 3. Excellent. And that didn't take too much obsidian. And we will get our protection 4. But we need a few more levels. We need about 6 more levels. Well, let's see if we can't find some things to kill to get us 16 more levels. Or do we have some things to break? We might have some things to break here. Let's take a look, shall we? And yeah, we got some Certus that we can break down. Let's grab about a half stack of that. Just come out here. Start laying a couple of lines of Certus. There we go, and break it. Will that get us the 6 levels that we need? Oh yeah. And a little extra. Cool. Well, that's fine. We needed a little extra Certus anyway, so not a big deal. And there's our protection 4, and that used every last bit of that dark steel that we made up. So that happened. So now you might be thinking to yourself, Red, what are you gonna do? You only have one book. And of course, I'm sure some of you know about Bibliocraft, and that you can use Bibliocraft to copy books, but that takes more levels, right? Well, what if I said there's a different way to do it? Let's go ahead and grab ourselves a filing cabinet. About 3 of those and some iron. I absolutely love the filing cabinets from Extra Utilities because you can place them down anywhere, and enchanted books do not stack because the metadata and everything else is different in them. But luckily, the filing cabinets do not care. They will take it because they are considered enchanted books. It doesn't care. Okay, weird little glitch there. So, how are we going to do this? Well, that's where this whole apparatus comes into play that we worked on. You know how we have all of this mana stored up back here? Let's make something to use all of that mana. So let's just kind of dig back here a little ways. And we will come back over here, and let's open this up for a moment. There we go. And we will dig through. Put our filing cabinet up there. Let's put a torch there. Let's just kind of come back here. Oh, there it is. Alright. So let's get our handy dandy hammer here. We'll just finish clearing this out real quick. That's not what I wanted to do, so there we go. And let's go ahead and clean it all the way up here. About something like this. And that's fine. We will break this out one more as well. Alright. So let's see if we have any extra torches. We do not. Why would we have things that we need? So we'll come up here and we'll just grab a few more torches. Stick. And yeah, we'll just use charcoal. Sounds good. And let's see here. Sorry about that, guys. Had to mute myself for a second. Random sneeze is random. Didn't want to blow your guys' eardrums out. So let's go ahead and start putting some torches down here, lighting this area up. We will take this back one more. There we go. And let's go ahead and take a look at our Lexica Botania. So what can we do with this? Well, mana manipulation, generating, basics, natural apparatus. And if we look in here, we can find enchanting with mana. So how do we enchant with mana? Well, looks like we're going to need a few things. We're going to need 17 obsidian blocks, no problem. 10 mystical flowers, not a problem. Of any color, that's a bonus. A lapis block, that's easy. And 6 mana pylons. Well, what are these mana pylons? Let's take a look. Mana pylons. Just do a shift click on the mana pylon here, or not. There we go, mana pylon. How do we make those? Well, that's just a mana diamond, some mana steel, and some gold, and we need 6 of those. Oh, okay, that's not too terrible. Let's go ahead and make those up real quick. We got plenty of resources to do that, so we're going to need some iron. We're going to need about 12 of those. And we're going to need some lapis, a block of it, not a problem. We're going to need some gold, about 12 of those as well. And we're going to need some diamonds, which there go our last 6 diamonds. It's almost like I knew what I was doing. So we come over here, let's drop our diamonds. We'll drop our 12 mana steel ingots. We'll come over here and something like that. There's our 6 mana pylons. Cool. So let's come over here and grab our 17 obsidian. There it is. And you know what? I don't like that. I'm going to hammer this out just a little bit more here. And that's why it looks a little bit goofy, is because normally I put 3 blocks in between, but this time I'm not going to. So 1, 2, and 3. And let's see what's out over here. Well, let's just take it all. Okay. Well, you know, this is actually kind of right where I wanted to be with this. Love it when a plan comes together. So we'll just kind of do some general housekeeping here real quick. And actually what I'm going to just do for now, because I really don't want this to be just completely enclosed. It's Britannia. It's supposed to be flowery and outdoorsy and nice and stuff like that. So I think what I might make this is kind of like a greenhouse effect. You know, replace all of this cobblestone that I am laying right now with maybe with some, like, I don't know, glass or something. Maybe some of that quite clear glass so you don't even know it's there. And then that way, you know, we can have this area, you know, look, you know, very outdoorsy and homey, like it should for doing anything with flowers. So I'm just going through making sure that we have enough room to do all this, because this apparatus does take up quite a bit of space. So let's start throwing our torches down. We'll hit F7 just so that we can see where stuff can spawn. And we will make sure to put a torch right smack dab in the middle of the room. Something like that. And don't worry guys, I will go through and I will clean all this up off camera. Make it look all nice and special. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of there. That's fine. That's not a big deal. Alright, so now we've got these two spots here. So let's see if we can't. Let's come 2 off there. And there. Yeah, that looks good for now. Alright, so how are we going to do this? Well, as we can see, if we go back here, enchanting with mana, it takes up quite a large area. So, how are we going to do this? Very carefully. That's how. So we need to have this structure here. So let's go ahead and kind of find the middle of the room-ish. We will dig out there, 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 and there, and there, here, here, here. Well, not necessarily there. There we go. And there, 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 and there. And finally, there, there, and there. Let's see, we're 2 away from the wall there, 2 away from the wall there. And these only need to be 1 away, so that'll work out pretty perfect. So now we need dirt, which we already got some. So we are going to just replace that with a piece of dirt. That. No, 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 not that. That. And that. And then we are going to fill this in with some obsidian. Just right across like this. Just like that. So there's that. So now we need more dirt, which we are going to go 1, 2, and 3 from either end. So 1, 2, 3, dirt. And down here, 1, 2, 3, dirt. Okay, so there's our ends. Then we're going to come up 1 and down 1, 2, and 3. So up 1, 1, 2, 3, dirt, 1, 2, 3, dirt, and same way down here, 1, 2, 3, dirt, 1, 2, 3, turn it into dirt. Alright, so now let's go and see what kind of flowers that we have in here. A ton of, maybe. Well, we have quite a few. Let's take 4 of you, and we'll take 6 of you. So we're just trying to come in here, and we will plant these 4 around there. Plant these 6 around here. And we will drop our lapis block in the center. Now it should be just as simple as whacking it with a wand. So, oh, what happened? Oh, that's right. We need the mana pylons. Not a problem. 1 there. 1 there. 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 And there. And there we go. Mana Enchanter. How awesome does that look? So, now we could use these mana spreaders to feed this thing, but that is going to take forever. Let's get into something a little bit more fun, shall we? Let's go ahead and we will grab, first off, 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll get us 8. That'll be perfect, and we'll actually need 1 more. Let's break these down, and we will turn these into mana petals. There we go. We've got a thunderstorm moving in. Excellent. Sounds like fun. Come over here and grab us just a handful of blaze powder. We will start dumping off some of this stuff so that we can clean up our inventory a bit. Sand can go in there. That can go up there. We've got some of this marble stuff. There we go. Got a little bit of that. And we will get rid of some of our cobblestone, which actually we will just throw that in here for now, because we're always needing some sort of cobblestone. We've got some salt, we've got some seeds, and we've got charged Certus. Throw that up there. We're also going to need some gold nuggets. So let's grab a handful of gold nuggets. So, what we are doing now is, if we come out here, mana manipulation, we are going to make ourselves a spark. And that's any 2 of the same color mana petals with 6 blaze powder and a gold nugget. All okay, we can put that in there like that. Put those there. Go around the horn just like that. And we can grab ourselves 5 sparks. Now what the sparks do is they actually act just like mana spreaders, and we can add different augments to them, but they work a whole lot faster and have a lot farther range than what the mana spreaders do. So if we just right click a mana pool, we can put these sparks right on top, and if you, as you saw, they all connected. And if we right click, we can see that the sparks there are all connecting. And then we bring one spark and we right click it, shift right click it on top. Now you can see it's connected with the rest of those sparks. There we go. And what it will do is it will draw from all 4 of these mana pools at once. And since we have the automated feeder down here, that'll feed and it will redistribute the mana. So, how does this thing work? Well, it's real simple. Let's do our bow first. Why not? Well, I actually set our filing cabinet, say, right over here in this corner. And we want infinity, and we want power 5. So, what we do is we take our bow and we right click it, and it stays right there on the pedestal. Now, all we have to do is be safe about this. We'll take our ring off just so we don't pick the stuff up prematurely. And we drop the books that we want to enchant. And we right click, 2 beeps because there's 2 books. Here comes the mana from the sparks. And there's the icon. That noise right there means that the bow has been enchanted. We can shift right click. There's our bow. Infinity 1, power 4. Just like that. No arrow use. The strongest possible arrows we can have. How awesome is that? So, let's get the rest of our stuff, shall we? There's our protection 4, unbreaking 3, and let's go ahead and we will throw our bow just right up here. And let's do our helmet. Why not? Sounds good, huh? Protection, unbreaking, and hit it. As you can see, there was even a timer. I'll show you guys on the next one. So we can pick that up, drop our chest. There's protection 4, unbreaking 3. Right click it. There's the 2 books. There's the timer in the center. And there's that one. And we are not using any experience just to make the first books. We are doing all of this with mana. Now you guys know why I wanted such a large stockpile of mana before continuing on. So there's the last 2. We can pick up our books now. Just put them back in here for safekeeping. Can even put our ring back on now. And there's our boots. So there we go. We now have a full set of flux infused armor with protection 4, unbreaking 3. We are in good shape for the next episode, which we will be finding a spot to spawn a wither, and we will be getting us a nether star because we actually need several nether stars for what I want to do. So, if you liked this episode, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. That way you guys know when new content comes out. The next in between episodes I will clean up this room a little bit. I'll probably open up this entire area here all the way up and just make a gigantic glass roof just because it makes more sense. I might even do that over here just with the general Botania area. Sorry, I had a bit of a brain fart there. I may, like I said, open all of this up with some glass. Just make it look a little bit more homey and whatnot. I might even change out these bricks to something else. We'll see. So, stay tuned for the next episode. I will clean this area up off camera, and we will fight a wither next episode. Have a great one, guys. See ya.